is took away citizens' rights to bear arms. They took it away right away. Second, in Germany, and it's in the Soviet Revolution, the same thing. Only communists could carry weapons. Everybody else was, in their view, plebes. You know, the people who were like a cattle. You know, it was were like hoarded and taken to the. They wouldn't take care of themselves, so they have to be taken and taken care of and just guided. And the second very important, and in Germany, in the fascist Germany, was they legalized abortion and not for Aryan race, only for undesirable race, which is Slavs, Jews, pretty much everybody else, you know, not counting all that, you know, dark-skinned people. They just, you know, there was like, I don't know, they didn't treat like a people, you know, and I tell you about, because like I said, I'm a history fanatic pretty much, especially European, because so like Adolf Hitler, you know, the Führer of Germany, he was total vegetarian. He never eat any meat. 100% vegetarian. He lost one testicle in World War I. He did. It's true. It's very what? I had nothing to do with it. He just was child. No, that's true. But you know, the most surprising for me was that he was total vegetarian, and he loved animals. And his favorite dog was Blondie. He was totally nuts about animals. He just loved animals. Unless, I guess, they were Jewish descent, they wouldn't. But it was like, so this was, and I remember on the, you know, I'm going to finish in a second, but as a kid, growing in a totalitarian country, I remember that Stalin and all those so-called leaders, they were like they were treated like as gods. So they brought like a spring and blooming flowers. I mean, in 50s and 60s. You know, later it was a little bit too odd, you know. But it was like, I found books in which Stalin was described as he is like make flowers bloom, make people happy, makes the bread grow, you know, eat, you know, it just totally absurd. I mean, it's like a mental asylum. But and it was such good quality books, you know, the paper, and it's like I just couldn't understand it. But I remember like today they said Tavares Stalin, which was like Comrade Stalin. He did everything. So on this note, I think I'll just stop mumbling. But it's I think it's such a. I just wanted to say like it's like personal and pretty much feeling as a dissertation, like historic, but you know, because each item could be, you know, talked about in much more really interesting detail. You know, and that one thing I know probably in college time would be a good thing, but they supported drinking. The communists, they sold you very cheap alcohol. No, I'm not joking. They wanted people to be drunk, to have, you know, to have at least alcohol. So it was bad beer, bad wine, bad vodka. Unfortunately, no, you don't drink?
No, I drink.
I'm telling you, it's like I don't see. It's still there because, you know, after 22 generations of the supplying alcohol, it's alcoholics over there. It's like when Amy went with me to visit over there once and last time. It was like a drunk people, and she was kicking me. Dad, help him, and he's drunk. You know, I'm going to help him. And she keeps, David, he's sick. Help him. And he's like, and she thought he was speaking Polish, but he wasn't. So actually, this is the drunkenness, and it's in Russia. And I mean, you have to smell the vodka to see what is it. You can drink the windshield fluid and you feel better. It's just disgusting. And and it's such culture of drinking over there now, especially in Russia, Poland, Ukraine, that if you don't drink, it means you're unfriendly. You're not my friend. You've got something to hide. And I keep telling them, I don't have to drink to be stupid. I'm natural. So, I guess that's all, folks.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
I was wondering, I was wondering if you're actually going to talk about the evils of communism and socialism, because it seems like a lot of, and I don't disagree that what happened under Stalin and Khrushchev and the others wasn't terrible, but I guess it seems to me in part that a lot of the fault should be placed on the dictators that implemented the totalitarian regime, not so much the ideology or the concepts behind communism and socialism. And then I was also wondering if you might draw any parallels between the reductions of freedom that you saw versus like the reductions of freedom that we're experiencing now, and then also like your kind of critique of Khrushchev as kind of this I think so, like a wandering idiot basically, with somebody like, or that kind of promised, you sacrifice freedom and you gain security with things like now that we're experiencing like the Patriot Act, the repealing of habeas corpus, and our involvements in countries like Afghanistan and Nicaragua where we consistently work against the betterment of progressive democracies and things like that.
Well, in Nicaragua, I think it's they kick out the dictator, and then they elected him back. So I think it's a sign of freedom. So I guess if we as a country did influence the country, they elected the people who we get rid of. So it means that freedom is working.
Well, I mean, they popularly elected a communist leader, and then we supported the country to overthrow.
Well, I don't think so. It's like communists have a very nice slogan: one man, one vote, one time. It was on the one vote, one man, one vote, one time. So I'm talking about Nicaragua. So well as actually Hitler was elected too.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we should support him, but like I said, America should act in its own interest, not in the interest of anybody else, because every other country is. But let me about I could go back. Lenin tried to implement communism. He failed. He died. He's still, in the camp, last camp. But then Stalin built on his success, quote unquote, which was failure, tried to implement.
Right.
He said, "Man, I know what I'm doing. I'm sacrificing." Stalin says about the victims he sacrificed on the altar for communism. He said, "When you cut wood, the chips are flying." That's what he said. It means it was about, who knows? It was about the chips was about 3 million Ukrainians, for example, starved to death in 30s. So